There's only one way to start.
The defenders that have performed at VVD's level is Rio, John Terry, and Vidic. I mean, how long are we going to act like this guy's a top striker, man? Champions League final.
We got to the Champions League final and lost to Liverpool. I'm cool. I've accepted that.
Cool
I moved on.
Worst week ever as a Spurs fan. I
think the most pertinent issue that we can discuss, and I've said that I'm not.
Guy loves a big word.
That's the dumbest thing you've said on this pod. You just said
that.
Spurs are in turmoil. You know you want to say it. Don't let him press you.
Get 20% off all Manscaped products plus free shipping with the promo code STTV.
Boom! Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We're live in the flesh, live and direct in effect. You already know what time it is. How are we doing, gents?
All good, all good.
Lovely stuff. Remember,
another week.
This show is presented by Manscaped. But before we go any further, as usual custom, make sure you like, share, subscribe, notifications on, follow the personals, do all the good stuff. Take a pause now. That will take you 30 seconds to do. Come back and enjoy this prime time entertainment. Of course, another week of fixtures means that we have to hold tight the 3-point collectors. We have to.
I haven't had that feeling for a while.
We have to hold tight the participants. We have to hold tight. The teams that are disappointing in Europe. We have to hold tight the 20 on the bounce. We have to hold tight the teams that don't want to score goals but play nice football. Whoever that is. Hold tight the international teams as well. Hold tight the WSL. But yeah, before we go any further, it's presented by Manscaped. How are you, man, finding the produce?
I can't lie. I like
Well,
it.
you brought it back now,
Bro.
you? Man brought back the props. Man took the
listen.
props for 2 weeks.
Let me smell that.
Bro,
Let's see.
that's the smell of seduction right there. You see it?
You gotta let you gotta let the air get to it first. You get me?
You're childish.
Still ain't used this one, but that
That's nice.
I've been dousing that. I can't lie. Oh,
I'm yet to use the
Yeah,
wheel
that's
locker,
nice still.
but the actual lawnmower is a proper thing.
But
Still.
I can't. That lawnmower's done me justice. I ain't.
Yeah.
It's
I'm good
been-
on there, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
It's smooth still.
it's,
It's smooth
business
still.
is taken care of. My lady
Also, thank
thanks to me. Thank you, Manscaped.
Real talk. Let's get into it, man. Of course, we had the participants. Another top 6 game. I haven't watched your proofs in the puds yet. But another game where top 6 game and it was just dull. Story of the season, right? These games just tend to be a bit tedious. I thought so for my little boy. I made him watch it. He could have been watching like his own program. Man, just had to watch suffering, bro. Real suffering.
Man said, "Yo, can I waste 90 minutes of your life?"
It's all mad. But what's our thoughts on the game itself? For me personally, one thing that stood out was, I mean, you've been heckled for saying it. We've said that football's not been great. You kind of articulated the lack of X factor, but if you don't believe that's not a thing, just look at today's game. Even before the game, when I was doing a preview, and I was like, I don't feel like there's a Chelsea player that can make something out of nothing. The only person that's done that recently was Giroud with the goal against Atleti. But that's not, you don't look to him for a piece of magic. And I can't even call that magic because it's not like every single game I can think you can do that. United, of course, Bruno is a maverick, but is that X factor magic or is that just being able to be...
What is the definition of that X factor?
So for
we
me,
need to put some definitions.
For me,
around
yeah,
it because I would like to think that Bruno and Rashford are X factor players.
So
and I'd like to think you lot have Ziyech and Pulisic who are supposed to be the X factor guys.
So
whether they are or not is another conversation.
I
But I'm just saying, like, what is the metrics of saying
so for me,
someone has the X factor?
For me, I typify it by Hazard when he was in the Prem. You know, at any single moment, he could, and in every single game, he could go like that, and everyone goes, wow. Like what you're saying with Rashford can get a goal, but it's not like, oh my God, wow. You're not waiting, like you could be waiting for as every minute goes by, you're looking at this player going, you know, if he gets the ball, he's going to do something. Do you know that feeling I'm talking about?
Yeah,
there's a
I know what
certain
you're saying.
like,
That bit of magic.
Like, yeah, oh my gosh. Like people kind of, I remember people always used to go on against that Chelsea, that Hazard goal against West Ham.
Yeah.
When he went through 4 players and everything, everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's an amazing goal. At the time I thought, but anyone can dribble through a player like that. But not like that. Okay, you know what? I've had enough here. Let me change the score. Boom, I'm going.
I'm just thinking of someone like Ziyech.
Every player loads of players have the ability to do it. Who did we play the other day? Newcastle. Rashford knocks it down the line, runs down, bangs it.
Yeah.
That's X Factor.
That's what I'm saying. He's had moments of X Factor. But is he an X Factor player?
Like for me, it's just like, like you can produce moments. Salah got the ball, blasted it in top corner against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Like these guys can do it, but it's just like, are they going to be the ones that do it on a regular basis? I just don't think they
Can
are.
you put your money on them doing it every single week?
Yeah, like for me, Rashford is good in them. Is good when there's open space, for example. Like the goal against Newcastle, he had something to knock it down the line and go. But in these games, when I talk about X Factor, I'm talking about these games where it's going to be compact. You know you're going to play against a tight Chelsea team.
You need a moment of magic.
Chelsea know they're going to play against a tight Man United team. Who's going to be that player in them tight little spaces or in them little moments that's just going to flip the game on its head? I don't think, when I look at Rashford and Bruno and that, well, evidently with Bruno as well because of all these games, but when you look at it, I don't think they can do it just like that all the time. And they can do it occasionally. Rashford's free kick, that's madness. But how often do
you can have moments? But the thing is, I think now the moments and being the actual like player, like I feel like it's almost exactly. I feel like it's almost hard to kind of look at like.
Why is the mic so low, bro?
I feel like it's hard to sometimes look at Rashford and you want Rashford to be the person that you're going into a game and every single game's like, you know, he's going to be the one to do it. If you get where I'm coming from.
To be honest, I thought today, for example, that was a perfect moment for someone like Ziyech. I feel like he's had a struggling season all year. Big game like this, you've had a couple of games where you're now back. This is the kind of moment to remind everyone what you're about. And he's been indifferent. He was kind of, out of all the Chelsea summer signings, he was meant to be the one that brings out.
He was the one I've been looking forward to the most because I thought
even when he was out injured, you thought when Ziyech comes back, there's going to be something. But I don't know what it was today and even like the last couple of games. I don't know what his kind of next move is. Like, what do you think it is that's stopping him from kind of delivering that? Do you think it's the change of managers, change of systems? Like, I don't know. The player that we saw the last 2-3 years in the Champions League, Ziyech, was different class. Everyone was saying, you lot cut a corner in signing for 35 million, but we haven't seen a sniff of that.
We haven't seen that player, and I feel like part of it is he has to acclimatise to what his situation is. At Ajax, you have a team where it's almost built for him to do what he does in terms of, I can go one side and ping it, I can do this. But
was he just the pingers though?
No.
Like,
I'm not saying the pingers, but he had
season.
He had the ability.
He had the ability. Magic at Ajax.
That's saying he had the ability in terms of, you know what, it's almost going to be allowed to have that magic. If you get where I'm coming from. With Chelsea, especially right now with the back five, it's not built. It's built in a way like we kind of pass all the way at the back, pass it here. It's not built that the ball's going to come to you, do something magical. He's almost like fitting into something as opposed to this is being for you. Like with Ajax, he could pop up at any single random part of the pitch. He could break away from what they were doing and do things similar to Hazard at Chelsea before. Hazard could kind of pick up spaces.
You've got that guy who
and
you give
do
a
it.
bit more
Yeah,
free
I don't
rein
feel
to.
like he's got that yet. And I feel like with his early performances,
I still feel like at Chelsea he should have.
He
that.
could, but I don't feel like he's
that make
earned
sense?
it yet. I feel like when you come into a new thing where you've got loads of new players coming in, you got players coming back for injury. You have to earn that reputation of, you know what, the ball needs to go to that guy. And I feel like because he started off well, got injured, came back in, he's not been up to it. You got to think about as men, right? As it, like footballers, even normal football. Why am I going to pass the ball to you if I've seen you give the ball away 2-3 times? That he hasn't given that
just
presence.
looked like he was missing.
But what I
confidence
don't get is that because at Ajax, one thing that we're all talking about him on the ball. At Ajax, one of the things that was massive about him was off the ball. He was really good at pressing. He was really good at tackling. Tackling is silly, but he was really good at like pressing and stuff.
Putting the pressure on.
There's no reason. What I always say is that we can talk about how good a guy is on the ball, but there's no reason why I got to look at Mason Mount, who would say is less talented, outwork him. The reason why Mason Mount is getting this demand for be on the ball and stuff because he's busy. He gets the ball, he wants to do things.
He's
24/7.
present.
I look at Ziyech and I see Ziyech like, okay, yeah, we know you're a baller, but I don't think he has that at the moment. I kind of see him, he's kind of like maybe like just not sulking, but he's just kind of like going with the wind.
He hasn't.
He's not doing he's not doing this press. And the thing about these Ajax players is that a lot of these Ajax players, it's tough for them to go into different systems because Ajax is a great, bro. You watch Ajax and you're like, what is going on? This is like freestyle. You don't even know
clockwork.
This is ridiculous. Van der Beek has come and struggled. Ziyech. I've seen people like Forsberg and De Jong struggled last
Forsberg
season.
was on Ajax.
What's the
Dolberg.
Dolberg, sorry,
When he went Nice.
Dolberg. De Jong, Frankie De Jong went to Barcelona and wasn't looking too They have a specific way of playing, and it's unique. Yeah, De Ligt in his first season, it's unique to anything you can imagine in football.
Yeah.
So when they go to other leagues and stuff, it's not easy.
Would you not think then? I don't want to hang on to Ziyech too much, but at the age he's at as well, I would
That's
have
his
thought he would have
problem.
been ready-made
That's his
to
problem.
come in at the time. You've played Champions League football. You're kind of a leader within your dressing room. You're ready for that next step. I've just been surprised that there's been a dip and he hasn't kind of picked it back.
I think
everyone
there's a
season. I can't remember. Was he good?
He was decent.
Is he
He was
good?
decent. Yeah, he wasn't the Eriksen he became afterwards, but I remember out the gate.
Do you know
he
the
was making
brutal
a
honest of it?
difference.
I feel like everyone's looking at this player and thinking, you know what, like this is not what we expected.
Yeah.
But the issue he has is there's loads of players in that of Chelsea sorted. It's like everyone that's
going
playing
through
in
it.
forward
Yeah.
positions going for it, and it's like everyone's auditioning for next year. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
like
which
everyone's
makes
literally auditioning for next year. Like next year, Chelsea want to be serious. Next year, Chelsea are going to have potential money. If you guys are not cutting it, will bring people in. You have to showcase and kind of earn that spot now. And I feel like part of that comes with when you try and change your team so rapidly with what Chelsea have done. There's Mason Mount is, for me, he's one of the guys that's kind of like definitely a mainstay. We've seen it with different managers, but you can see it when they're actually playing. Okay, this is the guy that you're actually looking to. There's not a lot of players in that team that have kind of really come and said, you know what, I'm a real guy here. Like I have to be the first team. So that's his challenge.
No
now.
one's grabbed it by the scruff of the neck.
That's his challenge now.
I'd
That's
give
the same
what's
challenge
his name some
to.
credit though, Luke Shaw, for today for the way he shut down Ziyech, because I feel like throughout this season he's been someone going on. I don't think we've even touched on him too much on this show, but
I think
he's
we've
kind of been
mentioned it.
steadily improving from Phil Mitchell, as we called him 6 months back. You called him, but it's one of those. I think he has steadily been trucking along. Today, I even was saying on Twitter, like, I think Reguilon's the best left back in the Premier. People were trying to shut it down straight away with Luke Shaw's. What do you think of his improvements this year? And then, like,
Do you know what? Like he has improved this year, but the reason why I'm not going to get too excited is because the thing we got to start looking at these people's medians of their careers. Yeah, the median of his career has been he's average. It's just as simple as that.
yeah,
So I'm not going to get too gassed off this season. Let me see it next
no,
season.
but do you
Let me
not
see it the
think
season
though
after
now
that.
this is the first season where he might be scratching that surface of that potential that you actually signed?
Yeah, no,
Maybe it's like
100%.
4 years late or whatever, but he's actually defensively
When you have an
and
injury like that-
attacking. And that's
When
the
you have
thing,
an injury like that,
injuries,
Nah, I've
manager
heard about his
changes.
injury for
No,
two
no,
years
but
now.
We've given
hear
him
what I'm
every
saying.
excuse.
How much you sign him for?
30.
You signed him for 30 mil when he's what, 20?
18.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah, how long is he now?
25 or something.
25. I guess the question you have to ask
he's
is:
got
Is he
loads of time.
is he the
one-
long term?
One, he's got lots of time, and two, is he the long term solution? That's the two
thing
questions
is,
you have to
going
ask.
through this season, you would say he's having a really good season. Like he looks good attacking. He looks good on the ball. He looks good defensively. So I can't say nothing about him this season. It's just about I want to see if these guys can carry on doing it. I've
Is there
seen
another
Man
level?
United players have a good season. The next season they're poor.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
You want some
right now
consistency.
he's doing very well. He's gonna obviously get called up for England. Let's see once all of that like starts coming back, back in the England team and all this type of stuff. Let's see if he keeps up this form because right now everyone wants to crown him the best left back in the league and stuff. He's not.
And I
Andrew
think-
Robertson's
yeah.
done it for season after season.
Yeah.
He's not the best left back
Facts.
in the league. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So let's just wait and see. But he's doing well. I'm not gonna lie. He's doing very well.
What do you think of because a lot of people are making? I don't want to sit on the whole Bruno thing because I feel like you have to look at the team in totality of the top six record, which is is it 2 goals scored?
1.
Is it 1? What do you?
against Arsenal?
No, against you guys, we lost it twice.
Oh shit!
That's our only goal in the big 6 games.
Hey, now Arsenal's the one you conceded and you lost that.
You
innit?
lost, yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
What can I even say about that?
that's too funny.
This is the thing.
How many
like,
games is that? That's like 8 matches.
that's-
The reason I ask you though is because this is a flip reversal of the season before, where your top 6 performances were great,
literally.
and then the rest of it was poor. And then what also is a flip as well is you mentioned BGB, but that season, like, the top 6 season, the defense was kind of like, you know what, defense is doing really well.
Shows the inconsistencies of our team and our manager. It just shows, bro.
Speak on it
Look
because
at it.
that's
Alright,
that's the contrast between the 2 seasons,
Yeah.
and you're in exactly the same place as well. That's what makes it funny.
Bro, 6-1. We lost 6-1 to Spurs, 0-0 Chelsea, 1-0 loss to Arsenal, 0-0 Man City, 0-0 Liverpool, 0-0 Arsenal, 0-0 Chelsea.
Horrible.
Bro, no wins. 5 draws, 2 losses, 1 goal, and it's a penalty. That just explains the whole setup. We're going into these games not even trying to win. It's as simple as that. We're going into these games not even trying to win. So I can talk about Rashford being poor. I could talk about Bruno being poor. I could talk about Martial being poor, Pogba. Eventually, are we going to talk about the managers doing a poor job or what? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, we can talk about all 11 players being poor in these games. Only ones you can say is the defense. And why is that? Especially in this match, this is the only game in all these top 6 matches that we've actually tried to press the team.
That's what I thought. I thought today...
Every other match we've sat back, banks of 4.
Today's game was different to the last 0-0, I thought.
Big Sam made a career off doing back 4, banks of 4, and just everyone... And I said it in Proofs and Post. Let's be honest. If it was Jose Mourinho, if it was Allegri or any of these, we'll call him anti-football. We'll call him outdated. We'll call it all of this, all the names under the sun. But when it's Oli, because he's feeding us with this is, I used to play for Man United and this is the DNA and stuff. You told us that we're going to be attacking this. I ain't seeing this shit.
The Manchester United.
Yeah, I'm trying to say, bro, I ain't seeing this shit. And one thing that United always got to maintain is a fear factor. Yeah, we understand that it's gone. Fear factor is gone. But you can't be going into these big games. And it's not only big games. I said one thing that I said is that let's not even use the word big games. High leverage. Let's use the word high leverage. High leverage moments. He's failed at every single opportunity.
Champions League ones.
Champions League. Why are we playing on Thursdays again? Because the 2 high leverage moments, we bottled it. 4 semi-finals we've lost. 4 high leverage again. High leverage moment, Sheffield United, when City finally went top of the league. Go and win that game.
Yeah.
We lost. Big 6, no wins. High leverage moments, he's just not good enough to get us over the edge. He's just not. And how many times does it have to be proven? It's just not good enough.
You've been Ollie out the whole pretty much time. Even throughout your near title challenge.
Wasn't he not Ollie in
silence? When was that Ollie in?
Nah, he was never Ollie in. I'll give him credit. Even when they were doing well, he was saying I want the manager
the video,
gone. So
that's old school, man. Man, I'm talking about PSG winning in 2019.
Oh, okay.
Come on, mate.
Okay,
come on, mate.
Might have to run that one back still. But you've been, so this summer, what do you think is the move? Because at the moment you're not gonna get the title.
Nope.
Your Europa League you might get, but is that enough?
You're exactly where you were the season before.
You took that with Jose Mourinho before anyway, so it's a case of, is that really an achievement? What is it going to take to sack Ollie, do you think, at this point?
The thing is, his contract ends at the end of next season. I have no
You're
hope.
stuck for another year.
Bro, I don't have any I don't have any hope. I don't have any hope for this board saying, do you know what? We're just going to sack him. And look, let's be honest. I said it from before. The board are not supporting. I'm not going to say everything's Ollie because the board have not, in my opinion, with that transfer window that we gave him this summer is disgraceful. And I said it to you, man, already.
It looked quick.
That was a horrible window. Yeah. Tellez, Van der Beek, and Cavani. 3 men that I said is not going to. Cavani, he didn't. So the only reason Cavani is even starting games is because Martial's having a bad season. Really and truly, he was meant to be a bench, quick little off the bench, 15 minutes kind of player. Van der Beek as well, Tellez as well. So when I look at it, right, the board have not helped him, but I have no faith in the board sacking him. I just have no faith in it, and that we're sealing our fate, bro. Because one thing is, Man United fans will talk about progress. Yeah, they'll say, "Oh, we're second progress." The progress is not enough. That makes me think Liverpool and Chelsea ain't going to be back on us next season.
Yeah. And is it progress if you stayed in the same position?
Liverpool are going to be better than us next season.
You know your point, yeah. I hear what you're saying about your transfer and your transfers, yeah. But even if you look at Pep, yeah, when he bought Sane in that first season, they didn't bang. Not everybody's players.
But they had the
but not everybody. Bernardo Silva didn't play first season.
World-class team.
Sane didn't play. But I'm saying is, I get what you're saying, yeah. But Cancelo, not everybody gets signs and has and bangs in the first season. I get what you're saying, but I feel like you're being one way. Not everybody signs and bangs in the first season.
We're comparing Manchester City and Pep Guardiola to Man United and Oli right now. There's levels, first of all. Second of all, Sane was a massive money signing. Yeah. Cancelo was as well. Bernardo was as well. Tellez was 13
they'd all
mil.
done their bits.
Cavani was a free on deadline day. This isn't signings that are gonna. Is Cavani gonna? Is gonna Cavani?
The one that I feel was underutilized.
Is Cavani gonna turn up next season at 35 years old? Are we gonna expect?
It's the wrong move if you're banking on that. Put it that way.
Tellez is average as well. He's an average player, bro. He's an average player.
Tellez, I'm not sure about.
Average.
You're saying there could still be a player there for next season.
I'm just saying this, yeah. I hear what you're saying, but I feel like you're being a bit obtrusive. You're acting like everybody else's signings, bang, straight away. It's like
but they have a great
there's a lot of people who had one season they needed to adjust. Don't forget Pep's first season when he made signings. They didn't bang.
You can't compare any situation for Pep Guardiola.
We'll segue into Pep. We'll segue into Pep because he's made some interesting comments this week. But one thing, the most interesting moment of this match, which everyone's talking about, is the penalty incident, and after that, first and foremost, is it a pen?
That's not a pen.
It's, put it this way: any logical, normal football brain, it's not a pen. But it's like we've seen those time and time again this season, last season. So for me, it's a case of you guys are picking and choosing and remixing the rules whenever it suits you, type of thing. Like today, the arm was in an unnatural position. The way I see it, that should have been given a pen.
That's my thing.
You give that as a pen. The game's 1-0. Get a bit of action.
The still image ruins it, and I feel like the main point of what you said is, based on everything else that's happened this season and how crazy that rule is, if the ball touches a handball, therefore it is handball. But normal football, that can't be handball. So what, is he supposed to run into Greenwood with his hand like this? It doesn't make...
No, shoulder challenge, chest to ball.
It's not shoulder.
There is no reason why you need to...
He's put his hand there because
I think Greenwood was coming and Greenwood wasn't looking at the ball. Yeah, so Cho, I think, put his arm
to protect, to try and
when you're about to get in a
let
physical
Greenwood
tussle.
Crash me and let me get the penalty.
Nah, I think you're about to get in a tussle and then he hits his hand.
It can go the other way. But I mean, the comment about what Luke Shaw said was, now that's when we're gonna get into some mad stuff now. From when he's saying the referee said that he's told. Because it comes from Luke Shaw, it's like cool. If Harry Maguire said it, he's lying. He's a camper. Because it's Luke Shaw that said that he said that he heard the referee telling Maguire that the reason why he's not giving it is because everyone's going to complain about it after the game. That's what he said that he heard the referee tell Maguire.
I can't lie, I believe it. Do you know why I believe it? Because of what Lee Mason did the other day, and because of
that's
all this,
my dud of the week.
The referees are just.
They're being rebellious. They're being rebellious.
I remember once upon a time, like the Premier League. Obviously, it's a sneaky conversation, but they used to have like the 4 like of the 8 best referees in the country or something. Like I saw Howard Webb was like the referee in the World Cup final or something. It was lit, like English Prem.
Clattenburg did the Euros.
Clattenburg, the Prem had lit refs.
Any there?
No, I don't know.
We need more black
way
refs,
different era. Way different era.
He was horrible, actually.
But the Premier League, honestly, for the so-called best league in the world, the officiating is bottom.
We'll get into more into Dutch, but I feel like the referees, because the way they're changing with VAR now as well, their interaction with it is very different. What game was it? Was it Liverpool game where he went over and he went, and he ran over?
The quick check,
it's like they're being rebellious. There's like, what, you guys don't like VAR, yeah?
Someone said he checked VAR like it was a WhatsApp.
That's what I said. Yeah, I said it was like, shut up, man. Actually messaging me, man left it quickly. But
apparently VAR said it's a pen.
That's what because they said something.
So that's why the ref is overruling it, saying, "Yo, if I give it now,
it's rebellious."
I mean, listen, if you're given the tools to work with, use them properly. That's all I'm saying.
Be
more consistent.
Rubbish games, midweek fixtures now, innit? But let's touch on Pep quickly. It's perfect segue because you mentioned quality and money. One thing he said this week, which was really interesting, was the reason why we're so good and able to be good for long is because we have a lot of money. That probably winds up some people. I know Richard Keys came out and said, if this was any other sort of thing, he's spending is reckless, he'll be set. Well, this is football, so we're not talking about any other thing. But what's your thoughts on that, number one? And number two, why do you feel like other people don't take the gamble with that? Because this is one of the best managers ever saying that, I can do my thing, but we still have to invest. There's clubs, for me, right, that get managers that can kind of coach good football, and they're still not supporting them in any way, shape or form. And they're not getting anywhere. This is the best. This is a standard bearer saying that, listen, without the money, I can't have a dynasty of doing what I'm doing. So what's your thoughts and opinions of that? Because for me, I'm like, you know what? Fair play, respect. And what he's saying is right. If everyone actually put their best foot forward and had a good coach, they might stand somewhat of a chance.
Not everybody's owned by a multi-billionaire oil tycoon.
True.
That's the thing. So it's like...
Tycoon is such a funny word.
Bro, it's the fact of the matter. But it's one of them ones he can
buy a
afford
nation.
To have Benjamin Mendy flop and be a social media content creator for 3 years and it doesn't impact his squad because that's the luxury I have. Whereas if Spurs now go make a 50 million signing and it goes bust, Levy's going to tighten the budget and be like, yo, the last one went bust, why am I going to give you another 50? So for certain clubs, there's certain risk factor. For me, I think City have the least in the sense of we can afford to just blow money because we can. We've
If
got
a player
it.
flops,
So
it's calm.
yeah, that's the thing. And I don't think every other club can make that same risk. And I know some people will say, oh, but City are competing right at the top. So if their players flop, they could lose a title. That's fine. City lost the title last year. Guess what they did? Go and
Came
get
back
Ruben
this year.
Diaz. Come, we go again. Now they're missing a number 9 and they're about to get the title. What do you think they're going to do? 75 mil Haaland. Like, they can do that willy-nilly like it's nothing. I don't think every other team has that spending power. And no matter what you say, it will always taint it a little bit. If you're buying success at that level. I always feel like, for example, Liverpool, the reason why I kind of respect what they've done over the last, I feel like they've built it more than they have spent it more, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
they definitely spent. They definitely spent, yeah. But I felt like Klopp has had to build that over years, whereas Pep came in, first year it didn't work out. I need it all. Buy me the whole house and the furnishing.
So for me, like, I hear both sides, but the question I would ask both of you then is,
because I remember episode 1 of Stoppage Time, you sat here and told me Spurs would just spend the P.
Yeah.
And I was like, brother, it's not that easy.
No, of course.
Every club can do it.
And again, that's why we said we'll have this conversation. We're not touching it now, maybe, but I feel like there's almost different criteria of how you can judge managers based on the perimeters around them. But don't you feel like there's certain clubs that are still not kind of putting their best foot forward? For example, Manchester United. I know that, like, obviously they can't spend how City are spending, but they can definitely spend a bit more than they do.
Difference in that.
But the thing is,
director of football.
It's not
no. I'm just saying in general.
City
I feel like,
put
and it's not always about
Zubizarreta.
spending. It's not always about what you're.
Let's get a flavour with the names. I got it right as well.
It's not always about
ex-Barcelona
how much you spend as well. It's about how you spend your money. Like you've mentioned it. Why we always wait until the last minute to kind of buy wash guys? We've bought Garlo. Not. I'm not calling Cavani wash, but you're buying. You're getting like elderly strikers.
Man United had Garlo.
You're getting elderly strikers in. Like a club like Manchester United.
I said make a wish foundation. We're making dreams come true, Igalo.
United were running around with a Garlo, man.
I feel like a club like United shouldn't be doing that. I feel like Arsenal, to a certain extent, they'll say money restrictions and whatnot, but how much they spend on party in terms of like how they spent, I feel like they could have been a bit more sort of conducive with how they spend.
Boards, innit? It comes down to the boards to free the money, of course. But at the same time, what we said, it still comes down to the manager's recruitment, as you're saying.
Yeah.
It still comes down to the manager's recruitment. And that's why, look, Pep, every single time you ask him, he'll never say, oh, it's just because I'm an amazing manager.
Yeah.
Barcelona, why did you win? Oh, I just had great players. What? I had Messi, I had Iniesta. Of course I'm going to win. When you're asking my City, oh, I've got the most money. Of course I'm going to win. Which I guess are facts. But at the same time, it's the way he implements them. Benjamin Mendy, okay, he's a social media creator or whatever. Who's playing in Benjamin Mendy's role? Zinchenko. Does anyone rate Zinchenko like that? No. Did anyone rate Fabian Delph like that?
I was about to say Delph. When Delph was
nobody did, but he's the... I'm telling you now, if Luke Shaw or whatever, someone was missing from Man United, we'll make it out like, and somebody else came in there, we put Brandon Williams in there, all of a sudden he's trending because of how shit he is. Pep doesn't give these guys opportunities to say that about his players because he's a manager, bro. He's a top coach.
Yeah.
So I have way more faith in, all right, Benjamin Mendy flopped. All right, we're going to sign Ruben Diaz and we'll sign you Ake. I get he gets a lot of support, but because of his track record and the way he can implement them, you will back
get the benefit of the doubt.
And look what's happened. And they're going to run away with the title again.
It's on all levels as well. So the board are willing to back him. I think he's got the scouting team and the director of football who actually help him sign the right players, because I don't think they've broken their record of 65 million for Rodri. Every player has been under 65 million for City.
And that's so good.
Do you know how good that is for a club who's known as money, that they don't get bumped for players?
Exactly. And when you look at their team, I don't know if Maisie, if you can get up on your laptop quickly, the team that played the other day, as I said, not many
Sterling on bench.
But the squad,
you mean the bench?
The squad depth, the squad depth is ridiculous, right? But the reason why we're looking at the squad depth is ridiculous is because
West Ham game,
some of the players that are deemed average or whatever are looking like decent players. Ferran Torres, anyone think he's that great? No, but he's
decent
calm.
Player. He's a decent player.
Exactly.
He's a good player.
He's young.
Calm.
He's young as well.
Exactly.
What, 21?
Does anyone think he's great though? No, you don't. So he's playing. You don't have an issue with him playing. Zinchenko, nobody really rates him. John Stones, wasn't he finished? Fernandinho, 36 years old. If put these same man in any other team in the league, and we will start saying these guys are average players. They're rubbish. Get rid of them. It's the manager, bro. It's the
100%.
manager. He's
I
different level.
For me,
agree.
I think it's the whole three: the board, the recruitment,
comes
and then the manager
together.
implementing it. Yeah, it's that. And I don't think any other club, bar maybe Liverpool, has that. I think Liverpool, even the recruitment area, they may be lacking a bit. But ticking all three boxes from like top down to the bottom at the club, and I'm talking even after the manager, you've got the squad.
They're so patterned.
They're so patterned on every level that Pep can afford to willy-nilly splash the cash and make these mistakes.
You saw it on All or Nothing. Did you see how close the relationship between my man, I don't know his name,
Andoni.
Khaldoon or something? What's his
Oh, Khaldoon Mubarak.
name? You see how tight it is between
know
him,
the names.
the ex-Barcelona guy,
Yeah.
and Pep. It's a running machine, bro.
Literally,
Them man
literally.
are just and it's
a
the
brain
thing about
trust
Man City.
almost.
The thing about Man City is what you're saying is they're just a well-run club. Yeah, it might be oil money. Yeah, it is oil money, but their academy is now fantastic. Their
State of
training
the art.
ground, everything about this football club is run perfectly.
Yeah.
Their
But
women's
listen,
team,
but
bro,
bro,
they're not.
bro,
Their
do you know-
social
do you know
media's lit.
but
Man
do you know
City
what-
social media the best.
They
in
were
the
the
country.
first team
you
to
know
do
what-
the
Have you seen
behind
their
the
YouTube?
scenes.
Do you know
Have
what-
you seen Inside
I used to
Tunnel?
watch Inside
Lit.
City all the time.
Do you know what
Lit. Even the
underlines
City
all of
man.
this for me though? Yeah, what underlines all of it for me is they actually want to win. It's not about participating. It's
Yeah,
not about winning
yeah,
Premier
yeah.
League. They want to win, and I feel like to a certain extent, people won't agree with this year. But can we hand on heart say that Manchester United want to win the Premier League in terms of their institution?
They don't right now.
Do
No
they want to
chance.
do it?
They do. Come on, Man United.
Ed
would
Woodward
win.
No, but in
wants the
terms of
money.
like,
Ed Woodward
in
wants
terms
the
of
money.
less production, let's be real. Are
Glazers
they
want that
coming out and saying,
bread.
no, this year we're going for it? Because if they
I
are,
don't think they think they're good enough, but they want to win the league. That's
I feel it's a different
You think they
conversation.
spent
If we're
80
being
mil
real,
on Maguire not to win the league?
Business.
Listen,
I
I'm
think
telling
they
you.
did
Business.
it to try and be competitive in the league.
I'm-
to try and
There's a difference between being competitive and
trying
wanting to win.
Yeah,
They
There's
care
a
about
difference.
100%.
There's a
I think
big
it's
difference,
launching their
and we
TikTok
can
thing.
see it in the actions of what people are doing.
You really think Manchester United don't want to win the league?
I don't think as an
You're
institution.
too looking at it from a historic.
No,
view.
but why did they get Jose? Why did they spend the money on
No, I'm
him?
talking
want
about
to
this
get
moment.
back
I'm talking
there,
about this
is what I'm
moment
saying.
right now.
They keep
I'm talking
doing
about this
these
moment
things
right
'cause
now.
They want to get back there, but I don't think they've gone all in to actually.
There's
go
certain things
break
that
the
you
bank.
do, and I'll say the same thing.
They
with, I
got
feel like,
Pogba. They spent all this money. Come
I'll
on.
say-
They
I'll
want to
say
win
with
the
the
league.
Pogba's a commercial team.
I'll say with the Arsenal situation as well. Yeah, I'm not even trying to get Arsenal, but you know how Arsenal were like kind of top four for so long, and the whole objective was like, you know what, we'll try and get into Europe. I feel like that objective has changed now in terms of before it was like we have to be here. Now it's like we'll try, we'll see what we can do. I feel like you can almost see sometimes where certain clubs like things are like with Chelsea. I can tell he wants to win the league. He's like, listen, he might not be going about the wrong way or how people think is the conventional way of throwing 200 mil, but there's intention in what he's trying to do in time of do things and trying to be a dynasty, because that's the key thing where I think Pep was trying to reiterate. I'm not trying to win this once. I'm trying to own this league. Therefore, there needs to be investment. So we don't win once and fall off. We're here for the long run. And that's why Chelsea had mad. Chelsea had a run.
But you know, one.
Chelsea had a run. When we invested, it's like, okay, this is ours. City have come, invested, it's us. That's why I question the whole Liverpool thing. But what can you do to make sure that you can have that sort of long-lasting stint?
But the
Because
thing is,
winning one is difficult. Winning multiple is a
Let's say
different
they win this
conversation.
year, though. Yeah, this will be, as you said last week,
3 out of 4,
three
yeah.
out of the last 4 will be City's era or whatever.
Yeah.
But is that what this board want?
What?
Do the board want just the league dominance?
Who's?
Did
No,
the
they
board
want
bring in
Europe.
Pep?
They want
Did the
Europe.
board, yeah. So
want
for me, that's the question I want to ask is when do we think there's a time frame for City to win the Champions League? Like a realistic time frame. Like, do we think this year, next year, the year after? For me, I think within the next 2 to 3 years, they've got to ideally win it.
The thing is, obviously that'll be the aim, but the thing right about it is that
And I know we say luck, and sometimes it's a draw. You look at the last 4 years, how
it's
they've
not
been
been
knocked
hard.
out. It's not been great.
So, bro, before you go, the one thing I always find interesting is when we get to this point of the year, what's the one conversation that always pops up? Can City do the quadruple? Can they do quadruple?
I saw you tweet that. I didn't even think
Can
it was
they do
still
the
possible. I
quadruple?
thought,
No,
yo,
it's-
what the?
They always have this
We just
conversation.
slept on
Yeah.
that, the whole thing.
They
They have this conversation at this point of the year. All the time, can we do the quadruple? And I feel like it's people look at them and be like, with everything you've got, you must be able to do it. But I also feel like their own expectation of themselves is, we want to do stuff that no one else has done before. We want to be the standard. So that pressure is always going to be with him. And I feel like if he didn't achieve it,
just go Champions League.
the thing
Get the final
I
egg.
think,
Pep becomes goated. City have nothing else. Then it just becomes like we just increased the legacy. Like Chelsea after the 2012, you knew it was like the
but 2012 was
crowning
supposed to happen.
moment.
It was supposed to
I know
happen.
you lot fudged it.
That was
your way there, but
Chelsea won the Champions League with their worst team.
I get that,
and that's what I'm saying.
But
Like
the thing
with
was
City,
winning that though, and you still had like Drogba on his last leg check on. It was almost like a
old guard.
got
It's
there.
different with City though. They ain't got their old guard.
old
Is
guard.
gone.
no, it's just they have to win it for fun. If they don't win it for him,
But you with City. The thing about this whole like they need to win the Champions League thing, which is true for their history or whatever, to fully say we're a massive club. They're a massive club already, but to fully say, you want to have European. But let's be honest, that's their own pressure. They're putting their own pressure on them. Is Pep under no pressure if you don't win the Champions League? No, he's not. Would Pellegrini have dominated like this? No, he wouldn't have. Would Mancini have? No, he wouldn't have. We can't try and say like, City were winning leagues before. That thing is played out now. Yeah, I mean, maybe after the first title, City were winning leagues before. Come on, it's getting ridiculous. 20 wins in a row and stuff. It's getting silly. No manager would have done this. I
think you're right.
It's only their own pressure. I would love to have that pressure of.
That's what I'm saying.
When are we going to win the Champions League? Like
City,
because we're just winning too many prems.
You summed up to a T. City are setting their own standards. Like with the whole Liverpool run that they did last year, they were trying to match what City had done previously. So when you're the standard bearer, the pressure comes from you because no one else can kind of relate to what you're doing. No one else can look at the City team at the moment and relate to what they.
But I think this season is what you're saying. I think this is the season
where they're thinking for it.
Every season we say it, but I think this season, because when I look around Europe, I'm not impressed with anyone. But Barcelona about to go out. Only teams that remotely look like they could put. When I'm looking at the games against City, is PSG, because I'm thinking maybe Mbappe and that on the counter can be ridiculous.
Come on, Poch.
Bayern Munich obviously are always going to be probably there and thereabout. And maybe, even though Chelsea are about to crash them out, maybe Atletico can shithouse like they did against Liverpool. But other than that, I can't see anyone beating City.
I lost faith in Atleti.
Yeah, they're getting annoying, but but they did something last season when no one expected.
But no, I think this year is the year I feel like they should just put all the.
If they win the quadruple, I'm never come back to this. If they win the quadruple,
fans are gonna start praying. I don't want to see Cam again, please.
We're getting another Cam. We're getting Man City Cam.
Bro, if they win the quadruple, they have written off everything.
Pep is goated.
That would be too annoying. That would be too annoying, man.
If he does a quadruple, clears Fergie?
It doesn't clear Fergie, but...
Answer yes or no!
No, he doesn't. Not for me.
Why not? What does he need to do to surpass?
That's the question.
Let's answer the question. Are we
going to have it now? Because it's kind of...
No, we can.
We'll squeeze it in 2 seconds.
I think it's a good conversation to have. What does he have to do? So, just that we understand the conversation there, I'm guessing that it's Fergie is number one. Guardiola is in the position now where he's number two.
In my opinion, yeah.
Well, you're saying him and Jose.
Nah,
he's ahead of Jose. I'll give him ahead of Jose.
And the thing is, I guess what comes into it can't just be trophy count. There has to be so many factors and everything. But what does Pep Guardiola have to do before his tenure runs out to surpass Ferguson?
The thing is, the reason why I say we have to wait is because, all right, let's say he did the quadruple, which would be ridiculous. Let's say, and this is just hypothetical.
Yeah, of course, because we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah.
And let's say next season, Liverpool sign Mbappe, let's say, win the Prem. They do back-to-back now. City haven't won in a couple titles, then Pep leaves and stuff. You have to wait. When you're talking about somebody as good as Fergie, you have to wait. He's done so much.
No, but is that not unfair?
I'm just saying, I just don't think if we say, okay, he's won what he's won now.
Yeah.
And then, all right, we don't know what happens for the rest of his career. At this particular moment, he's surpassed Ferguson. No, I don't think that. That's all I'm saying. If it continues, I'll never have a problem saying Pep's the best.
To Fergie because of that longevity he's had at that one club. Fergie's had the 2-3 years no titles. Fergie's had countless years of no Champions League. So I feel like with what he's done in like the 14 years, and I've been like a big critic of Pep, but I feel like if he does the quadruple,
it'll be silly.
There's nothing left for him to achieve.
But you know what?
Go international football and have fun if you like. At this point, like he can actually retire in about 3 years and say, "I'm done. I've clocked the game."
For me, like Pep's the best like coach in ever.
Yeah,
I mean that I've ever seen in terms of how he plays. This Cancelo thing is getting on my nerves. How this guy's running right in
middle wing.
But anyway, like he's just too good in terms of a coach. He's just too good. Like, I've never seen anything like it. But the reason why I feel like there's so much that goes into Alex Ferguson that people don't take in. First of all, we didn't win a title for 26 years. Yeah, when he came, we hadn't won a title for 26 years. We're hyping Klopp about how he's built. Ferguson came in 1986 when we didn't win a title for 26 years. Took 5 years for us to finally win a title to go and win 13 Premier Leagues, right? Obviously, he won 2 Champions Leagues. I don't even need to talk about that. But the reason why I hype Ferguson so much is because he was more than just a manager, bro. I've said it. I think I said it on Don't Shoot the Messenger, bro. How many managers do you know go to a young 13-year-old's house with a contract and say, sign the contract on your 14th birthday? That player goes on to be the most record appearance in Man United history, wins every single title with him. That's what he did with Ryan Giggs. That's what he did with the class of 92. He built this club, bro, to what we are. To what Man United people see Man United as just the most lucrative the money machine. It'll be nothing without Ferguson. And I feel like people can look at the on-pitch success. That's fine. Pep is ridiculous. But I just feel like there's so much more to what Alex Ferguson was. The rebuild.
You're saying the totality.
Totality. Bro, like,
can I ask a question?
Just to land. When you look at Pep, he's gone club to club, won. So was Jose Mourinho. We talked about Jose Mourinho has now probably like fell off a little bit, but Pep can gone to clubs, spend a lot of money and win. And I'm not going to say that's a problem. That's what you want to do. But people need to realize the
luxury he's had of walking into those situations.
You know Aguero now, how he's looking dead. This is his last season. He's about to go. Yeah. Imagine Pep saying 2 seasons ago, nah, it's time for Aguero to go.
Yeah.
That was what Ferguson used to do. Van Nistelrooy, time to go. Bro, like, people don't see these things. They just look at like, trophies and think, bro, I'm telling you, there's so much to Fergie. I feel like
the one you're going to have to do more of this because I'm telling you now, as the years go on and Pep's legacy gets greater,
it's harder to
and we move further and further from Fergie's, you're going to have this debate.
My last thing is,
because I agree with what you're saying, but I think from an achievement aspect and from a coaching aspect, we won't have seen what Pep has done.
Changed the game of
football. Every single time he's like,
he changed the rules.
I always say,
they changed the rules
period
of football.
That Barca
they changed the rules of football because of Pep.
Football because now we're super technical. Everyone's got to be because of him.
Why are you allowed to pass?
We talk about he changed your club. We're saying Pep has
changed football.
But when you look at when you look at and I also feel like obviously, because they had, when Messi came, and Messi exploded, everyone kind of credits like, boom, Pep's touch to Messi. But what about Ronaldo's touch? What about Fergie's touch to Ronaldo? When we going when he was a little skinny head and he left like doing this.
Real Madrid getting all of that. Real Madrid getting all that love.
But Pep gets way more clout.
Do you know what you don't mention?
Ferguson does with the Ronaldo. I'm like, is it because Messi exploded?
Fergie gets
what you don't mention, and the thing is, we'll move on. But what you don't mention is, there was times where Alex Ferguson had greatness where he had no right in doing it. Like, he had no right in winning the league with Cleverley and Anderson at centre mid.
This is why.
Like, that shouldn't have been happening.
Do you know what?
That shouldn't have been happening in football. I think there's a lot of times of like that where it's like, it's so mad. We'll move.
Just to finalise that, everyone always points to the Pep. Yeah, he had the GOAT team. He beat Ferguson, and there's that little image of Ferguson's hands. Like, brother, have you man seen that team that went to the Champions League final? Chicharito, Giggs was centre mid at 38 years old. Park Ji-sung
getting in running rings around him.
Rooney, we say.
Pep did pattern.
No, he did. Well. But I'm saying no. But what I'm saying, the big one, the one that was like all timer. That's like probably the best Champions League display ever. That 2011 game. Why were we in the final, bro? We had no right to be. Why are we there?
You're saying Fergie's greatness got you. Even your last title, Fergie's greatness pushed you there.
In other news, Leicester and Arsenal, interesting game. A lot of people were complaining about the Arsenal lineup coming beforehand. Why are you resting all of these guys? All of this, people making fun. But
what was it? 6 changes?
6 changes, yeah. But they came up trumps. They won. They won. Pepe looked alright. They I'm saying like he looked like
he had a very good game. He had a very good game.
Nah. He woke up and chose violence. I'll be real. Him and Willian, that game, I thought
that young left back had a tough game.
Thomas, he came off half time, innit?
I felt sorry for him, man. They
tried. He tried still.
They thought, we could bring any academy kid through. Nah, not quiet, lads. Harvey Barnes was a one-off, but even he went off injured today.
He went off injured.
They had 6? What was it? Oba, Saka, Martinelli.
Martinelli.
Partey,
Martinelli's not been
Bellerin,
playing,
basically, which is basically the majority of.
But
their
people think
key
that Bellerin
players.
shouldn't be playing.
Well, he's been wearing their armband for the last couple of
Yeah,
days. Running around.
it's an interesting one. I mean, especially because of all of the talk before in terms of something we discussed a month ago has now become popular news. They are top 6 side and whatnot, which is old news anyway. But I guess for Arsenal there was that there was pride. There was almost pride that we have to prove that
We've turned it into a rivalry.
You know what I mean?
Let's Arsenal's a rivalry.
Arsenal's a new rivalry.
We've turned it into a rivalry. Literally, bro. Hey, the way they were bragging today, you'd have thought they beat Spurs, bro. I was like, whoa.
And so mad as well. Wolves were a point behind them as well, so they had to kind of stretch that one from there. They want to be too close, but I mean, fair play, credit where it's due. We have to address the other side of it as well.
1-0 down as well. Like,
exactly.
That's
That's mentality. We have to address the other side.
That's the part I want to get to.
Brendan Rodgers, is it happening again? Now, I already called my top form for before, and I said that this has potential. Being it that Liverpool have to keep their side of the bargain, is it happening again? They've got injuries. They've got injuries. The injuries are piling up. I know you mentioned Jamie Vardy thing, but this goes back to what I mentioned to you before, bro, in terms of Leicester this season. The reason why I thought there was something different about them is because they're actually winning tough games. They're not like scoring a goal like how it is. They're actually winning in a tough way. They've not been like, okay, comfortable, boom. That's why it doesn't surprise me. You said Vardy hasn't scored for how many games? 11 games.
It let 1 goal in 12 games, including today's.
It doesn't
but that's also 4 from open play this season.
Yeah.
He's been stat padding with penalties.
Yeah.
But all season I've been hearing Drogba debates. I've been hearing he's better than Aubameyang debates. And for me, it's like, I feel like sometimes we go too far with these teams that are performing above expectations. And I know Leicester now, they're kind of securing their top 6 status or whatever. But we're seeing, just like you said, 2 things that we saw last year when they bottled it. Jamie Vardy droughts and an injury hit squad. And it's like the same. All I'm saying is let's keep the same energy we've been giving Liverpool all season. They've had their entire back line out. No. Because they've had their entire back line out and we've said to them, we don't care. Play your midfielders there. When the midfielders got injured, we told them, we don't care. Go and sign some youth players or whatever. So now Leicester are having the same injuries. I don't want to hear about this is the reason why we dropped out of top 4. Cool. Brendan Rodgers is a top manager and all this. Let's see you actually deliver the job. Because they have the same gap in the top 4 as well. They've got a gap in there. Don't drop it now.
Why don't you agree?
That's my thing. Don't drop it.
Because I hear what you're saying.
They're the champions. We're comparing injury crisis to the champions to injury crisis to Liverpool, to Leicester. They're different level. They're a different level team. We're talking last season. We're talking about they're one of the best champions of all time, and now we're talking about.
No, but how about the principle of?
That's why I don't agree with that. That's the only reason. I think.
I
get what you're saying.
Is that not more at risk though?
Wait.
Because if you're the champions, you stand to fall off more.
Not by a highest deficit of all time, but fair enough.
But when you take into account what they've lost.
Yeah, but wait. So what I'm saying is Liverpool should be more equipped to deal with something like that because they're the champions.
Yeah.
They're the best team. They still have world-class players playing on the pitch. Is Salah world-class? Is Mane world-class? We call these Thiago, is he world-class? We call these guys all world-class players. They're still out there. Trent, Robbo, world-class. Leicester don't have world-class players still playing. They're a good team. They're a thin squad, as we know. They got, 7 injuries, I think it is. What's that guy's name? Pratt.
He's barely been a regular.
I'm just saying Pratt, Madders, Evans, Barnes, Justin, Vardy apparently has his groin, and then there was somebody else I'm missing.
There's a few more, and as people are coming back in, the other people are getting injured. It's
it's like, do you know what? For me,
magic roundabout.
For me, I don't think they necessarily it means they have to bottle it or whatever. I think people seem to want, I don't know, it's like people want Brendan Rodgers to bottle it for some strange reason. But even this whole bottle thing, right? This term of that he's a bottler, where did it come from? Because they didn't win the league because Steven Gerrard slipped.
Liverpool, that's
so
what it started.
Is it Brendan Rodgers' fault?
Put that on.
Who's it on?
Man are going gung-ho when they're 3-0 up against Palace.
That game was done, mate. That's in
Villa.
Stop that. Man City had beat Villa.
Naivety. Let's not try and blame
Man
that
City had beat Villa. Man City had beat Villa.
Don't do that. I know you love Brendan and you want to protect
Man
him.
City had beat Villa. They were ahead of them.
He got slumped out midweek by Slavia Prague.
I know that, but what I'm trying to say, you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying we've now given him
to fail.
We've given him some bottler tag because last season was a bottle, but we can talk about injuries, whatever. We'll say last season a bottle. I'm sorry if everyone's blaming Brendan Rodgers for bottling that 13-14 title, That's wild to me. I'm sorry, in the biggest game of the season, your fucking captain slips on his ass, and then they go and score against Jose Mourinho's ridiculous defensive style. I'm sorry, man. To blame that on Brendan Rodgers. Are we blaming the Crystal Palace game for why Liverpool didn't win the league? They weren't going to win it anyway because Gerrard's slip has already cost them the title. Gerrard knows it himself.
Do you know my honest
my issue I'm saying is if they drop out a top 4 now this year with the way they crashed out Europa as well, lights have to be on Brendan. The same way he's getting all these pats on the back for playing good football and getting the best out of these players. Coach when the chips are down as well, because that's part of coaching. We love looking at Jose when the chips are down. We love looking at Klopp when the chips are down. Let's look at Brendan when the chips are down. Do you know why this is so techie? Yeah, I'll give my honest opinion.
You see, with Leicester, yeah, the reason why I'm not get away, for lack of a better term.
You want to be called a top 6 club? We're gonna judge you like
yeah. But the reason why they can get away, I'm only saying
no more. I'm not allowing that.
Hear what I'm saying? It's not even get away. It's lack of a better term. It's because no one really expects them to finish top 4. So if they finish top 6,
Premier League
people say, oh, but you know what? Where do you really expect them? They've
You're
done
hating
well.
That their project was successful before your project.
Shut up! We treat you like you want to see at the big boy table.
He's unhappy Spurs like a big boy for 20 years.
It don't matter.
Leicester did it in
Let's
4
go,
years.
Leicester.
Leicester did it in 4
Hear what I'm saying?
2 years.
If they finished 5th,
they did it.
if they finished 5th or 6th, same thing as last year. It's like, let's start going to Europe. It's like, all right, cool.
You said it last week. You pissed me off.
The difference with like a Spurs is, if Spurs don't finish top 4, it's like, hold on, we expect you to be top 4. And I feel like that's why with Leicester, when they fall away, it's kind of like, you know what, law of averages. We went really far and we fell just short. You know what, cool. We give it a go last year. I feel that's where they can wiggle out of it.
That is where he can wiggle out of it. But
it's not right. It's not right. It's not right.
Saying, every time you want to give the manager that real big, they do something, they overachieve in a mad way.
Yeah.
Simeone winning the league or whatever. You know them big overachievements where you're like, oh, he's
announcing
the real
yourself.
deal.
Yeah.
So I get why you would say it, because we can say he's overachieving, but at the same time,
prove it.
You want to
do something.
Stamp it. So get the top 4.
And that's for me what I'm still waiting for is that stamp from Brendan. I feel like we've had
because the Celtic run. Okay, it was like what?
That was a
Can I ask a question though? Can I ask a question? We could talk about all these managers, right? And we say, oh, is Brendan really it? Da da da. Now, take away, I spoke to production about this actually. Take away Conte, Allegri, Simeone, Pep, Klopp. Them 5, yeah? Or we can say Jose Mourinho because he's won stuff. Jose, yeah?
That's such a loop shot.
But let's say them 5. Jose, yeah? How many managers out there are bona fide winners who you would look at and be like, maybe we can throw in Hansi Flick now, yeah? So it's probably about under 10. There's under 10 managers. A lot of people kind of credit Real Madrid's success to Ronaldo and all that, not Zidane. A lot of people credited MSN to MSN, not Enrique. So how many managers out there that you think can just be like, do you know what? You can walk into any big club. And they're all taken, by the way. They're all taken. So what managers out there, if there was a big club available now, who can just go to wherever? Managers, it's not that great. The pool is not that great, which is why you think 10 years ago, you think 10, 15 years ago, I'll be saying Brendan Rodgers to United. No, I wouldn't. But we fell off first.
The bar has been lowered.
We fell off, yeah. And the management, I think there's not ready-made managers like that. Flipping Pirlo's the manager of Juventus. Ollie's the manager of Man United. Arteta's the manager of Arsenal.
But that's because we live in a culture of hiring and sacking managers every 2 years. If you don't achieve your targets within a year or 2 years, you're not given a moment. Like right now,
I asked that question. Who? Other than them 7 managers.
Like you said, the pool is very low. But the
man are going to start taking Ten Hag? Yeah, what? Ten Hag?
Do you know what's so funny?
Are you convinced?
No.
Are you fully convinced?
I don't want to go into a separate conversation.
There we go.
I don't want to go into a separate conversation. But with all of this high on fire, yeah, what then happens here is you're going to have managers go to these sort of teams like Leicester's and everything here, and basically their resume of proving themselves is just showing some sort of consistency.
They might have top 4.
Just showing some level of consistency. Yeah. That's the only barometer, and it kind of goes to that whole of how do you judge managers adequately. Because for Brendan Rodgers to kind of always be kind of getting top 4, it's kind of like, oh, you're showing something. So if I give you a bit more, maybe you go a bit further. That's what the game's changed to now.
That's all my ideology is. It's like, okay, if he's doing this with this, what can he do with that? And it's the same way of Poch. If he's doing this with Spurs, what can he do with that? You know what I'm trying to say? So who knows?
But at least with Spurs, Poch got the 4 years of Champions League in a row. Then the Champions League.
Remember
final.
2017 though?
Brendan
Rodgers hasn't even got the one
season,
Champions League yet with Leicester.
2016-17 season was it when you guys finished second? What now? With your best team. You guys got crashed out of the Europa League, I swear, like 3-0. You guys lost 3-0.
Against Ghent.
There we go.
I forgot that still.
There we go.
Nightmare.
Bro. Yeah, exactly, bro. Like,
that's a perfect
Those are the years
segue.
we actually used to want to win the Europa League.
exactly.
This year's by force.
It's so mad. Let's do champ and dub before we get out. So actually, random. I didn't say RIP Glenn Road at the top.
Hey, for real, man.
RIP, man. Honestly, that's the
It's a
Intertoto
Premier League OG, man.
Real talk. Intertoto Cup legend, right
Connoisseur.
there. Real talk. But
Rest in peace, man.
You can be the general champ of the week. But who you guys voting for your champs? Pep 2020. Yes, yeah. I had that Eli Sam guy from Notts County for that mad goal he scored. That's Puskas.
Oh, the heel flick thing. Yeah,
that's Puskas.
No, I have to have a goal of the week. So.
Real talk. Sancho, another achievement. Another week, another achievement. Yeah. After having a poor week, as someone written to us. Those are sort of the 3 nominations I've got.
I mean, there's only one for me, and I know you'll always say I'm biased.
Oh my
God, here we
go.
Brother, it's been a redeeming week. Yeah, I mean,
Wolfsburger and Burnley.
The engine's looking a little warmed up. I felt the bonnet. I said, "Ooh, it's finally ready to test drive, you know." But listen, we'll see how the consistency goes.
Listen,
but
we'll see how the MOT goes
I'm
midweek.
happy for the fact that he's showing signs of life because first half of the season. Brother, it was looking
you wanted
horrible.
to terminate his loan,
brother,
mate.
I wanted to terminate his loan, but
Say
now
nothing.
I'm kind of glad it's till the end of the season. Yeah, we might have something.
The pass for Kane's goal,
bro. Like it's the
good
little
football.
bits of quality. I know it's been dead opposition, but it's the little moments. So you're just like, hey man, that's 2012.
Let's see what happens when we have to do the MOT. Let's see if he's he passes.
Bro,
his
North
checks.
London derby.
Yeah, that's
see.
what we want to see.
Coming.
Champ of the week. I'll just co-sign what you were saying, but you want what's funny? The Jamie Redknapp Roy Keane beef was so funny, but Redknapp was gonna take off his coat.
Jason,
ready to take off his coat.
what? You don't think Regular's a good player?
So what you said? No, right. So what you said? Right.
Now,
I was like, saying that's good television.
He
still.
was so rattled by how Roy Keane was talking to him.
Yeah,
It wasn't anything Roy Keane had said.
It was the condescending tone. So what? Kane and Son already
Yeah,
said
yeah,
them.
yeah.
What? So what? You think I'm good players?
Yeah.
But I already said them.
That was good TV. Big up them. That was funny still.
Man. My dud. We touched on it. Lee Mason number 1 and Potter Ball number 2. Those are my 2 duds.
I don't. What can Potter do about people missing 2 penalties?
No, it's not. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about this match. I'm not talking about this match. I'm talking about the whole season. I'm talking about the whole season now. Because now
I hate about you.
enough is enough. Enough is enough now. Enough is enough. You have to be so real, yeah. Because we can't be saying, good football.
Yes!
Score goals!
Energy!
We can't
Score
keep
your
doing
penalties
this.
that you're
They're
being
on the
gifted.
same amount of points as Newcastle. We
Yeah.
can't keep saying this, man.
Yes.
We
Score your
can't say
penalties.
this, man.
Score your penalties.
I'm not talking about this one game. I'm talking about the
I'm just
season.
saying,
We
innit?
can't keep
It's done
doing
in a
this,
week.
man.
Nah, this guy, if a manager plays good football, he'll do everything.
Hold on.
He's everything.
Oh my God, the
Everything
way
he
Mays is sliding out from being the Potter's biggest fan. Oh my
When was
God.
I Potter's biggest fan?
Hey, wait, hold on. Do you know what's
I was
mad though?
Potter's biggest fan.
He just
I was his biggest fan.
you.
I was his biggest
Wait,
fan.
love
I was his
Brighton
biggest
at
fan.
You know what's mad?
I was
He
his
just,
biggest
he
fan.
just put Brighton on par with Newcastle. Who was bigging up Brucey earlier in the
Yeah,
season?
Why they love me? Why Steve Bruce there?
This
Why
guy
Steve
was
Bruce there?
early in the
Why is
season.
Steve Bruce there? No, because they're saying Steve Bruce should get sacked.
Potter was
They're
his
calling
boy.
for Steve Bruce's head, and they're neck and neck.
Meanwhile,
Boy.
Potter gets all the praise.
The thing is, it's not just about the praise. It's like, at what point do we have to like try something new now? Like,
Yeah.
They wanted Potter. They wanted Bielsa to go out like Potter. Now no one's got nothing to say about Bielsa, I guess, right? No one's got any words about him.
bruv, I said
What
they're
happened?
finishing
You
10th.
guys are already saying, "Oh, they're gonna get relegated."
no.
They could see too much.
Hey,
I ain't
I
heard
already
that
said
for
they're
weeks.
finishing 10th.
Enjoy it
I ain't
this
heard
year.
that for
Enjoy
weeks.
the
I could
ride
finish
this
in
year.
10th.
This is your
Man,
come up year.
I could finish in 10th.
We'll see next year.
We've got the proof here. I can send it in. We can flag it up.
Football. But anyway,
And Lee Mason for that free kick situation.
you know what? My dad of the week, yeah, I can't even lie. It's got to be Man United. And do you know why it's got to be Man United? Nah, not because of the 0-0.
harsh.
Not because of the 0-0. Inter Milan won 3-0 today.
Lukaku.
Right?
Lukaku, Darmian, and Sanchez scored as they go top of the league. As they're gonna go win the league.
You're lying.
Man United's 3 rejects are about to go and win
Wow.
the league. Lukaku, Darmian,
love
and
it.
Sanchez scored. Bro,
Medals.
Man United got held that licked. I'm not saying I'll take all of them back, but I mean,
It's a slap in the face.
I mean, boy, while we still trail about 20 million points to City like they did,
My dud of the
they're
week,
about to go win the league.
My dud of the week, Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Oh, what for the miss?
No, not
And for the LeBron comments
not
as
for the
well.
miss,
Yeah.
for the comments, for in a time and a place where we're kind of getting people to say what they feel, fight injustice and things like that. He's telling people
For being a
shut
hypocrite.
up and dribble, basically.
No, but he's spoken
like-
about things as well before.
And that's the thing.
So
is
he's a
you've
hypocrite.
used your platform for so many different things and so many kind of commercial gains as well. Now all of a sudden, when people want to do the right thing, you want to tell them shut up and play sports. This is what we know you for.
Yeah.
But
Come
when
on,
it's,
bro.
when
And
it's
it's such a
turned around
random
to be a
thing
liar.
to say.
That was my thing for me. It was so
Unprovoked.
left field.
Where did
I'm
that
just
come
like,
from?
It was
what?
unprovoked.
There was no
It
need
was
for you
unprovoked.
to get rattled by LeBron because
unprovoked.
LeBron will dunk on you, bro. Like,
And he did.
your taekwondo, that's what I love. Just shut up and know your role, man.
So you shouldn't
If
speak
think
about your
it,
people.
How tall is Zlatan? Like 6'4"?
Fam, he weighs half of LeBron.
No,
He
I'm
will
just
get
saying,
snapped.
Zlatan's like 6'4" and he looks like a giant. Think about LeBron is 6'9". Hey, yo, them basketballers are tall. When you deep it,
With
Man,
frame.
man said you
None of
shouldn't
this
speak about your
taekwondo,
people, you know.
you know when
your head.
Lukaku and thingy were head
Were
to
head to
head,
head, yeah.
Zlatan will be looking at LeBron's
just-
chest, you know.
Man
Yo,
are saying
that's
that you shouldn't
crazy
talk
still.
about what's well, I want African dad like
We
he's
saying
slapping
Andre the Giant.
See Kawhi Leonard's hands, bro. Just go,
what the floor. Oh my gosh.
Oi, you'll kill a man,
Hey,
bro.
brother, I've
Kawhi
seen him
holds
hold the ball like
basketball
this.
like this,
Like
bro.
a tennis ball, bro.
Yeah. Them man, bro.
Yeah, so mad.
Hey.
Apparently, you can't speak up for your people, but you can tell people that you should be a lion and all of these sort of animals. But listen,
Talking
man,
the third person.
it's so
Dumb.
mad. Listen, that's another episode. Like, share, subscribe, hold tight. Manscaped. Good episode, boys. We're out.